Our CEO canceled our bonuses, then paid his daughter $20,000 for cupcakes. I exposed his secret ledger on the lobby screen. The pink frosting looked hard, almost like plastic, sitting under the harsh fluorescent lights of the open plan office. I poked it with a pen, watching the sugar crust crack but not yield. It was International Women's Day, and this was our reward. A cupcake. A single, stale, pink velvet cupcake sitting on a napkin that said Girl Boss in gold foil. Next to it was a card, hand-signed by our CEO, Richard Sterling. To the ladies who keep the office sweet, keep smiling. It's your best asset. I stared at the card. Keep smiling. Best asset. I felt a cold, jagged rock form in the pit of my stomach. 3 weeks ago, Richard had stood in front of the entire company, all 200 of us, and told us with tears in his eyes that due to unforeseen market volatility, the annual 15% bonuses were cancelled. We are in survival mode, he had said, adjusting his Rolex. We all have to tighten our belts. I had tightened my belt. I cancelled my vacation. I started bringing lunch. I worked 60 hours a week to close the Q1 audit because we're a family. And now, here I was, holding a cupcake that tasted like sawdust and condescension. Can you believe this? Sarah from marketing whispered, leaning over my cubicle wall. She was holding her cupcake like it was a grenade. He walked around handing them out personally. He winked at me, Eleanor. He actually winked. It's insulting, I muttered, tossing the card into the trash. It's performative allyship paid for with the money he claimed we didn't have. At least they look expensive, Sarah sighed, inspecting the gold foil wrapper. Probably cost $5 a pop. That's, what? $1,000 for the whole office? Better than nothing, I guess. Is it? I asked. I turned back to my dual monitors. As a senior auditor, I have access to everything. Every invoice, every expense report, every ledger entry passes through my queue before it hits the general ledger. If Richard spent company money on these cupcakes, there was a paper trail, and I was going to find it. I opened the expense portal. I filtered by date, March, category, employee engagement. There it was. An invoice submitted yesterday. Vendor, Sterling Image Consulting LLC. Item, IWD brand activation and employee morale package. Amount, $20,000. $20,000. I blinked. I wiped my glasses and looked again. $20,000 for 50 cupcakes and some napkins? I clicked on the vendor details. Sterling Image Consulting. Sterling, Richard's last name. I opened a new tab. I searched the LLC name on the state business registry. Registered agent, Tiffany Sterling. Tiffany, his 22-year-old daughter. The one who just graduated with a degree in communications and whose Instagram bio read CEO, visionary, vibe curator. He hadn't bought cupcakes from a bakery. He had paid his daughter a $20,000 consulting fee to go buy cupcakes, probably from a grocery store, and hand them to her dad. You are laundering money through a holiday meant to celebrate women, I whispered to the screen. You absolutely shameless. But the rabbit hole didn't end there. If he was willing to funnel 20 grand to his daughter while claiming poverty, what else was he hiding? I remember the retention fund. It was a line item that had appeared in the budget last month. Vague, nondescript, strategic personnel investments. I opened the general ledger. I drilled down into the account code 500 to 992. It was a transfer, a massive one, $1,200,000. The exact amount of the employee bonus pool that was canceled. I clicked on the distribution list. It wasn't a fund for the company. It wasn't a rainy day savings account. It was a direct payout schedule. Richard Sterling, $500,000. Greg, CFO $250,000. David, COO $200,000. Mark, VP Sales $150,000. Steve, CTO $100,000. 5 men. The C-suite. They had taken the entire bonus pool, the money promised to the engineers, the support staff, the women they told to keep smiling, and split it amongst themselves as a retention grant. Why? Why would they need retention if the company was in survival mode? Unless the company wasn't surviving. Unless it was being sold. I checked the legal expense codes. Mergers and acquisitions due diligence. Project Phoenix. They were selling the company. They were cashing out. They had stolen our bonuses to pad their own parachutes before the ship went down or changed hands. What I'm about to do next isn't just a leak. It is a corporate execution broadcast in 1080p resolution. By the time I hit publish on this slideshow, Richard won't just be facing an angry staff. He's going to be facing a breach of contract lawsuit that will strip him of every penny he just stole. But the real twist? It's who walks into the lobby exactly 3 minutes after the screen changes. For full version, follow on screen instructions.